Hello folks, hope you're all keeping well. Well, considering the worldwide circumstances we all find ourselves in these days. But as of the start of 2021, here in Northern Ireland we are in full lockdown again, so I haven't really been doing much this last while. So I thought I would do a little unboxing on something I treated myself to Christmas at. So stay tuned to find out what it is, hey?
Yes, I bought a Tactacam 5.0 Ultra HD sporting camera, and I bought the FTS film through your scope to go with it. Now, I've been interested in these ever since I seen Cyclops' videos review on it and others, because as a YouTube creator I'm always looking for different ways of filming what I do, and this intrigued me, especially the fact that it was recoil rated, so could I use this with the spring powered air rifle, and it was rated for low light, so will it work well inside a darkened shed or even with a lamp at night? You can see here that both the Tactacam and the FTS unit come really nicely boxed up. They do like their green and black now. Now this won't help it perform any better, but it should help ensure it arrives at your door in one piece. Now, on first opening the box, we're greeted by a thank you and welcoming card from the Tactacam company, a fast startup guide for your Tactacam 5.0, a nice green and black sticker, and of course the instruction booklet. And here's the little camera himself. Dinky little thing, isn't it? And below that we have the charging adapter, which is a 2-prong. That might be problematic here in the UK. We have a charging lead, and that's her, folks. On the first page of the instruction manual there's a guide to the best sort of SD card you need to run on the camera, which apparently is important, so hopefully the one I got's okay. Then it goes on to a quick start guide, charging the Tactacam, powering it on and recording, different modes, and even an app, which you will need to help set this up with the FTS unit. But at the minute I think the most useful section to me would be the quick startup guide, and find out how to open this device and start charging it so I can use it. First we have to unlock the rear cap by pulling the little lever down the way until you can hear it click with your fingernail. Then you have to rotate the cap counterclockwise until the opposite two dots line up. Then it should pull off, though it is quite tight. Now you can get to the SD card slot, USB port, the removable battery, and the micro HDMI output. Now, of course, the US 2-prong charging adapter is not going to work in our UK 3-prong 240 volt outlets. But looking at the information on the back of the charger, it is rated for an input between 100 and 240 volts. So it should work with a proper adapter. Unfortunately, I didn't have one in hand, so I used this USB charging adapter. And I'm probably going to get chewed out in the comments for it, because it has an output of 5 volts 2.1 amps, while the Tactacam charger has an output of 5 volts 1 amp. It did charge it, thankfully, but I emailed Tactacam, who were very helpful by the way, and they advised me to get a proper US to UK converter or adapter, which I'll be using from now on. One thing I did notice, since the end cap is removed for charging, if the unit gets a wee bit of a knock, it can stop charging. So I set mine upright to ensure that the battery kept a good contact. Right, finished with that little lot. Let's look at the FTS unit. Okay, let's see if I can open this thing without taking the hand off myself. Okay, looks like we have another thank you and welcome card from Tactacam, and then the FTS unit itself, which is tightly packed into some nice foam packaging. It looks robust. It's definitely a metal housing with some sort of rubber covering over it. Okay, let's see what else we have in here. Oh, it's a secret compartment. I hope I haven't unwittingly joined some form of international smuggling ring. Oh, drugs, diamonds, gold. No, it's just some bits and pieces of plastic. Maybe? No, that's your lot, son. What do we have here? Oh, a bit of paper with writing on it. Don't need that. Okay, we've got plastic rings inside plastic rings. That makes a lot of plastic rings. And then we have this. Another rear end cap. But I already have a rear end cap. I'm confused. Turns out the bit of paper with attention written on it was important. And if your camera had a 4-locking lug cap on it, you were to replace it with this one. But mine has 6, so I'm okay. And of course, the plastic rings are actually 7 different sized adapters to help the FTS unit fit different sizes of scopes. I also got the Tactacam custom barrel and scope mount, which allows the Tactacam to be fitted to your scope or a shotgun barrel. All I have to do is open it. No, that really does have a trip to the hospital written all over it. Time for plan B. You big girl, you! You should have lifted the 10-inch cookery! Who said that? Okay, so what have we got now we're into it? Big bit of paper with writing on it. Don't need that. Got 1 mount and 2 Allen keys. Two Allen keys. Come here, you wee scur you. I get the hell of you. Ah, got you. So you thought you had me bait, did you? Now, the mount actually did look a bit Mickey Mouse in the pictures. But once you have it in your hand, you realise it's actually quite robust and well built with an all metal construction. Oh goody, it's charged. We can take it out and play. The Tactacam instructions recommends that you use a 4K micro SD card with a 3U write speed between a 64 and 120 gigabyte memory. This goes into the SD card slot on the back of the Tactacam, though it is a bit fiddly. Then you replace the end cap the opposite way you took it off and lock it into position. The barrel and scope mount has rubber pads on the inside of its clamping jaws, so it shouldn't scratch your gun barrel or scope. I only loosened the 2 screws on the top ring, then slid the Tactacam into it and roughly lined it up so it was square with the mount and filming the right way up. Then tighten the 2 screws back down again. They just need to be tight enough to stop the camera from rotating. Then offer the clamping jaws up to the gun barrel. You may have to unwind the adjustment screw a little to make sure the jaws are wide enough to go around the barrel. I found the jaws quite stiff from the packaging. They are brand new, of course, but a wee bit of oil in the pivot points will probably help this. Because of the rubber padding in the inside of the jaws, they don't clamp down dead tight, so there is a wee bit of wiggle to them. Sorry, you'll have to excuse the hands, but the barrel and scope mount fits onto a scope body in the exact same way it does to a shotgun barrel, and the Tactacam instructions says it will fit up to a 34mm scope tube. Again, it's not a dead tight fit, but you could lift the gun up with it, so it's not for coming off. Now for the bit you've been waiting for, the FTS unit. Firstly, I undone all the screws on either side as far out as they'll go, to allow the mount to open up as much as possible. Then I inserted the Tactacam lens first into the smaller of the two openings, and tried to line the battery lights up as best I could in the middle of the slot. Then tightened the screw down tight. Now you need to find which one of the different sized adapters fits your size scope. This one's a wee bit too big, and this one's a nice snug fit. There's a wee bit of trial and error in it. Now on this scope and some others I've tried, the focus ring at the end of the scope does stop the adapter ring from pushing all the way into the FTS unit, though it doesn't seem to stop it from clamping to the scope itself. Now we need to turn the Wi-Fi on. By pushing the record button, the unit will vibrate twice, then start flashing. Push the record button again, will pause the recording. Then hold the mode button down for 3 seconds. The unit will vibrate again, then the little blue light will flash. That's the Wi-Fi switched on. Then you can connect the Tactacam to your chosen device using the free Tactacam app. You can control how big or small the crosshairs appear on the screen using the little slide rule. Once set, the camera will record the footage in the same size. I left it on the largest size to help me get the crosshairs nice and focused. To do this, you need to adjust the eye focus on the end of your scope just a quarter of a turn at a time while trying the Tactacam on and off until you get the crosshairs nice and sharp on the screen. Most of the scopes I've done this with only took a quarter of a turn to get a nice picture. To get the crosshairs nice and level, I used the slide rule on the screen as a reference point and paralleled the crosshairs to them as best I could. Then I tightened the 2 screws down to hold the unit in place. Okay, with that done, let's go over the controls. To switch the unit on, press the record button. It will vibrate twice, then start flashing. That's it recording. To pause recording, press the record button again. Then to go through the mode buttons, press the mode button once. Green is for general filming and low light, blue is zoom mode, and light blue is slow-mo. Again, to switch the Wi-Fi on, hold the green mode button down for 3 seconds. The unit will vibrate and the blue light will start flashing. Then to switch it off, hold the mode button down again for 3 seconds and it will stop. To switch the unit off, hold the record button down for 5 seconds, though it seems more like 2 to 3 seconds for this unit. Now, once you have the Tactacam connected to the app, you have a whole host of settings that you can work with. You can go through each of the 3 individual modes and change the default settings so they will record in whatever video resolution that you want them to. Though I've left mine on mode 1, green, as the factory default in it is best set up for general filming and low light conditions, which hopefully will give me good quality footage in and around the farm sheds I do a wee bit of vermin control at. Unlike mode 3, light blue or slow-mo, which seems to be given a fairly dark picture here, even in a fairly well lit room. There's even a whole host of general settings for you to go through. And of course, you can review any of the video footage or photographs you've recorded using the app. And you can also swap from video camera to photos to time-lapse and even live. Not that I have a clue what I'm doing here. No, that doesn't do anything, you dummy. The only scope I had problems with was my old P-car on my 17 Hornet. Try as I might, I couldn't get the camera centered well enough that it gave a nice consistent picture as you zoomed in and out. But I couldn't blame the Tactacam on this, because my side shot and Firefly SE8 action camera has the exact same problem with this scope, unlike this old Deben scope on my 1022, which has a near perfect picture in the full zoom range. The other problem I had was with my CZ527 and 17 Hornet. These rifles are renowned for bolt clearance problems, as you can see here. But after a wee bit of research on the internet, I found that you could rotate the FTS unit to about a 45-degree angle. This would give enough room for clearance, not only to properly cycle the bolt, but also to extract the bolt for safer travelling in the car. Okay, it is a wee bit tight as it catches in the rubber cover on the FTS unit, but we do get there. Then, to straighten the picture out, just rotate the Tactacam in the FTS unit until the crosshairs are nice and level again, and tighten it down. Job sorted. Though I'm going to change this old P-car out to another scope I have that gives a far better picture.
Well folks, that's about it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing video and a wee bit of a first impressions look at the Tactacam and the FTS unit. Now, I know it won't be to everybody's liking. The cost might put some people off. But for your money, everything does come in the box that you need. Plus, it can multitask as a small handheld camera, to be mounted onto a shotgun or rifle if you buy the extra mount, to scope cam footage with the FTS unit. But hopefully before long I'll be able to get out and about again and hopefully get some decent hunting footage with this little hooferdinker. But until then, look after yourselves and take care, hey. Yee! Oh, might need a change after that one.